This is your reminder to drink your water. Yours isn't a Stanley, is it?
No,
Okay, good.
nah.
I would have judged you. But you know what's weird? Okay, so this is the weirdest thing. This is a Simply Modern, which I
Oh,
thought,
Charlotte has those.
okay, but listen, Brie. It's a S and then a line and M. And for a whole stinking year, I always thought it was a slim SLM. So
I
there's a girl.
I
Okay,
think
go
I
ahead.
thought that as well. You're
Okay.
not alone.
Well, so there's a girl at my work. Her name is Amanda. So Amanda, if you listen, shout out to you.
What up?
Um, what up, Amanda? I don't think she listens, but so she loves her Simply Moderns. Like she has like multiple. She's kind of like a Stanley girl, but for Simply
They have
Modern.
Harry
Like
Potter ones.
yes, like she has all these different ones. She has all the cute accessories for them and like different like they match her outfit sometimes. Anyways, so she was like, "Oh, you have a Simply Modern." And I was like, "I what?" And she's like, "A Simply Modern." And I was like, "No, I have a Slim." And she's like, "Ma'am." So anyway, so I was talking to her because I was like, she is the Simply Modern guru, like expertise. I'm going to talk to her because this thing, I could have ice in it and it would last like all day, all night. And then just like in the last like 2 months, my ice is melted by the end of the morning. I'm like,
Yeah.
"What is going on?" And so I was like, "What happened?" And she's like, "Well, do you have condensation on of it?" "No, no condensation." So that means the seal's not broken. But why is it not holding the ice anymore?
That is
No one
annoying.
knows. I know.
Charlotte's does. Charlotte has hers but hers is a smaller one, so maybe that has
But
um
it used to.
oh,
Is it
so all
be
of a sudden it stopped.
Yeah. And I
Maybe
don't
it
know
is
if
the
it's
seal.
yeah, and like I don't know because like
Flip it
where I
upside
keep
down.
No, why would I do that?
Does it drip?
Oh, that's a good question. No, it's not dripping.
Oh, maybe it is. I don't know. That's weird. Maybe you just open it too much.
I don't That means I drink it too much.
True.
I don't know. So, I know the cats have knocked it down so many times off of my nightstand, so I don't know if it's, like, the seal broke
The
then?
handle or the handle, maybe something where the handle is, because those are like
Maybe.
screwed in. No, those
Yeah,
they're it's not open though. It's not like it opens on the inside though.
that's true. I don't know. I have to
I
get a
don't
new
know.
one apparently, but they're
So
so
if you guys
expensive.
know, let us know. They're not as bad as Stanley though. I want those
That's true.
Owala's ones. The Owala,
Oh,
I
those
think. Yeah,
mhm.
those are really nice. I
Yeah.
like those. I want to try them.
Wow.
Anyways, stay
Anyways,
hydrated.
yeah.
It's a
Okay,
hot one out there.
I have a question for you.
Shoot, that didn't sound good.
What was that?
I have no idea.
Is that out like, outside of your room?
It was probably Natalie doing something she shouldn't have been doing.
Oh,
Anyway, go
sounds
ahead.
okay. So, if you had to, you had no choice. You Someone put a gun to your head. If you had to get a facial tattoo, what would it be?
I've thought about this before, actually.
That's really
Actually, I was
weird.
just talking to my sister. Does facial hair count, or does it have to be like an actual tattoo? Because I would
I'm gonna
say,
say okay. Okay, not makeup and
okay,
not okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Because if I
So it
were
has
to
to.
say makeup, I'd say I'd get my eyebrows tattooed because it would save me so much time.
Why don't you
But
just get them microbladed?
I don't know. Just
That's
because
the
I
same
feel like they
thing.
won't. I just do such a good job. I feel like, and I feel like it would be so hard. Anyway, so I've always been a fan of like random little stars and moons. So maybe like
Oh,
a little star or a moon, like next to my eye on
okay.
either side, or a
Okay.
big L on my forehead for loser. I'm just kidding. I'd I'd say a star or moon or something like that.
That's cute. That's cute.
Okay,
I like it.
what would you
Um,
get?
I have no idea, I didn't think about this. Um
Teardrops. Question is, would they
Honestly,
be colored in or not colored in? Because I know there's 2 differences.
there is?
Yeah, I think, colored in there's a whole bunch of meanings to those teardrops. I know it means you killed someone, and then colored in maybe means possibly raped. Wait, that's a terrible question
My
to
god,
ask
that's a
you.
ter
Why would you wanna show that off? "Hi, I
Okay.
suck.
Hi, I'm a terrible human being. Nice to
Here's
meet
my
you.
target. You wanna point the gun right there."
Um, I don't know, probably something along the lines of yours, like little stars along the eyes, but not stars. Maybe like a
Stop it. That's so weird. So
maybe like
weird.
maybe like diamond, like little like
Yeah, that'd be cute.
starry
Yeah. Yeah,
diamonds.
like the little yeah.
Yeah, I
That'd
don't
be cute.
know.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
that looks, like, cute, but, like, not like mom on my head.
Yeah.
I'll
So
just get a Snapchat filter and be like, "Alright, this is what I want."
oh, yeah. Now, would you rather get a facial tattoo or a neck tattoo?
Like, on the side of my neck or the front of my neck?
The front.
Ew, gross. Facial. I feel like that would hurt really bad,
Probably.
and then I don't know what I would get. I feel like that's a weird place to get a tattoo.
Regrets. A lot of
Regrets.
people have them.
Oh, yeah, you're right, now that you say that. I feel like they're yeah. Yep, you're right. Nope, I don't
Yeah.
want one. Maybe a
Mm.
choker.
Oh,
That would
that's
be fun.
cute.
That would go all the way around, though. I have to tell you something.
Okay.
Okay, so I've been waiting all week to tell you this. So, you know how, occasionally when we lived in Alaska, Natalie or Charlotte would randomly, like, tell me something creepy, that happened to them while they're sleeping or in their room in the dark? It
Yes.
happened again, and it hasn't happened in
No.
forever. Natalie, I think it was, like, Thursday. Charlotte's been wanting to, like, sleep in this room,
Yeah.
during the week because she doesn't like to be bothered by Natalie because she wakes her up. And so, uh, Charlotte's been sleeping in here, and so Natalie gets scared because she likes sleeping with Charlotte, and so
Yeah.
the only thing that brings her comfort right now is me putting the monitor back in her room, and so I put the
Oh,
monitor in
yeah.
there just for comfort, I guess, just so she knows I can hear her if she needs me or if I need
Right.
yeah. And so it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was right before we were gonna get up to get ready for the day, and I hear Natalie say, "Mom," and she's crying, and I was like, "What? What's wrong?" And she's like, "Why did you just tickle me?" I was like I was like, "What?" And she's like, "You just tickled me, and then you kissed me." And I was like, "Natalie, are you dreaming?" And she's like, "No, you tickled me on my side, and then you kissed me." And I was like, "Oh god, no, I didn't." I was like, "No, I didn't." And Josh is like, "What the fudge?" And so I go in there and I go talk to Natalie. I'm like, "Natalie, are you sure you weren't dreaming?" And she's like, "No, I was awake." And I was like, because she knows now, like she's
Yeah.
aware. She understands what dreams are now. She's like, "No, I was awake." She's like, "You tickled me on my side, right?" And she showed me exactly where I had tickled her. And I was like, "Natalie, mommy didn't tickle you. Mommy wasn't in here." And she's like, "Oh." And then that was it. She hasn't mentioned it since or talked about it since.
Oh my god, Brie.
I know. My sister's like, "Whatever was in Alaska followed you guys back and loves Natalie." And I was like, "Thanks." I know.
I don't like this.
I know. It's like, "No, don't tell me that."
Mom, why did you just tickle me? And
I
you're
know.
like,
I was like, of all freaking things for something to happen, like, you can't tell me that, like, you heard something drop in your room or something like your blankie fell off the bed. No, something tickled you. Something touched you.
Oh, Brie.
And it very much could be the fact that she is a 4-year-old and she has had, like, a history of, like, night terrors, which,
Yeah.
apparently they're not awake for that at all, and they don't remember it, but she remembered it, so I don't think it was a night terror, but maybe she's a sleepwalker, and maybe she imagines things? I don't
Maybe like
know.
a spider like crawled on her.
That's awful, and then kissed her on her face.
He apologized. He's like, "I'm sorry for."
Sorry. My bad.
I don't know. I don't like it. I'm so sorry. I hate this so much for you.
This is, like, one of the things about kids that I was not looking forward to. Ugh, anyway,
Oh.
so there's that.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. I'm so sorry this is
Welcome,
happening to you.
welcome,
I
and
hate it. I wish you didn't tell me.
if anyone else's children says things, even if you don't think it's real, can you please send it in to us so we don't feel as alone
Yeah.
in the world, and then I'm probably going to talk about it on the podcast. I will not say mention the names or anything if you don't want me to, but
Yeah.
that's it. It's pretty good.
Anyways. Okay. Who's going
Who's
first
going
this week?
first? I don't know. Who wants to go first? Rock, paper, scissors. Whew.
I really want to go first, but I also don't want to. Mine's kind of
You can
sad.
Okay, you can go first because mine is a more uplifting, so
Okay.
mine
Okay.
will, bring everybody out of their depression. Thanks a lot, Amy. Alright,
You're welcome.
so let me find my neighborhood story right here. Okay. So this is a picture of a house, and they have a giant garage. It's a two-car garage, and it's someone spray painted on it, and it says, "Home of a 75-year-old man who is a serial cheater while his
Oh,
wife is away for medical reasons." And then the
no,
other drawer says, "A cheater lives here. Pathological liar." Wow, somebody was pissed. 75-year-old
but
year old man?
sir,
How do you have time for this, mister? Hey,
your
mister, how do you have time for your mistress?
your rendezvous.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, 75. And he is like cheating on his wife that is
Who was
away
sick.
for medical. Ugh. He deserved that all over. They should have not
Yep.
just put it on his garage. They should put it
You're
on his
yucky.
all the walls, on the cement.
Yep.
Ruin him.
Yep.
Ruin his life. Shame on him.
Shame on
Ugh.
you. Shouldn't cheat.
Shouldn't cheat.
You're welcome.
Okay, so before I start my story, I'm going to give a trigger warning. This is a domestic violence story. So if you or anyone is experiencing domestic violence, you can go to the www.thehotline.org, and or you can call 1-800-799-SAFE, or text start to 88788, and that's the hotline for domestic violence, and they can get you help. But let's try to make things a little bit more uplifting. Y'all know, in in the spirit of the new Deadpool that just came out, Deadpool and Wolverine, and the new movie starring Blake Lively. It ends with
It ends
us.
with us.
It ends with
Mhm.
us. Um, I am going to tell you I'm going to tell you about the Deadpool Killer. So, mhm,
What?
yeah. So, he's known as the Deadpool Killer, and um yeah. So, this guy is just he sucks. Brie, this guy just sucks. Period. He's just the absolute worst. And so I saw this guy when like everything started happening. It was earlier this year and a little bit of last year, I think. He was like surfacing on X, which was formerly Twitter, and some Facebook groups that I'm in. He was just being talked about, and like he actually wasn't being talked about in a bad way. People were like, "Oh my god, this guy is so hot." And we're like, "Okay, I don't see it, but okay." His hair, like, everyone has their different standards, everyone has their different looks, of what they like, but for me, it just wasn't doing it for me, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Um, he does have good facial features, but everything
Right.
about him, you're just like, I don't see it."
Yeah.
Um, so 2 things. 1, give me a break. This guy is not hot. 2, get some standards, okay? So, I'm gonna tell you about Wade Steven Wilson.
What?
Um, yes. What?
I'm so confused. I've never heard of this before.
Why'd you say what?
Because his name's Wade Wilson, like actual Deadpool.
Yeah, so that's why he's known as the Deadpool Killer.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'm going to tell you about Wade Steven Wilson. I'm sure you've seen him being talked about. Maybe not. Maybe not. But if you pull up his picture, you definitely probably saw him.
Okay.
Um, he has his hair is like gelled back. Like he has longer hair, but it's not like super long and it's like gelled back. In the picture that like has gone viral, it's gelled back. He's wearing a suit and a tie. He has so many facial feature or so many facial tattoos. They're not even good ones. One like his mouth, like one of the tattoos, it's like the skeleton with like the Frankenstein with the sewn shut tattoo around his mouth. He also has a swastika under his right eye. Um,
Ew.
yeah, he's just not. It's just not a good look. Did you
Okay,
Google
well,
it?
this one, he doesn't look bad in this
Okay,
one.
that
And he's
was
holding a puppy dog,
that's pre
ruining his
pre
face. He had a
re
nice face before he ruined it
he
with all those
did.
tattoos.
Did you look up the one that I'm talking about? The one
Yeah.
with the suit and the tie that he's
Yeah.
wearing? He's just yeah, that one. Like,
Oops. Yeah.
my dude is went through it for sure. So, like we just talked about, the name Wade Wilson is the fictional character Deadpool's actual name. So this real life man, not the comical anti-hero he was known for, is the Deadpool Killer. Now, Deadpool, he is known for his unpredictable comical antics. Unlike Deadpool, the real Wade's actions were very real and very terrible.
Right.
So, Wade's story starts on May 20th, 1994. At the age of 14, at the age of 14, Wade's father learned his girlfriend was pregnant. So uh, his mother got pregnant with him at a very, very young age. Um, she struggled with mental illness and possible addiction. So when Wade was born, he was adopted by Candy and Steve Wilson, which is really weird because those are my parents' names.
Oh, yeah.
Um, um, they were a super kind couple. They actually met Wade's birth mother through church, and that's how they ended up adopting Wade. Growing up, Wade was like any other 90s kid. He loved playing outside, playing sports. He attended church. He was good in school. His parents remember him as a good church-going kid. When Wade approached his teenage years, a lot of things started to change. He started to show signs of possible mental instability. He was moody. He was causing disruptions in class. He became unpredictable. So his family started to get very concerned and they wanted him to get mental health care. But Wade refused. And as things started to get worse, his parents actually decided to invoke the Baker Act. And we actually just talked about this in the
Yeah.
last episode. So, for those that didn't listen or don't know, and it's a Florida law, and it was officially known as the Florida Mental Act of 1971. It allows for emergency mental health services and temporary detention of individuals who are unable to determine their needs for treatment due to mental illness. As part of this act, Wade was held for no more than 72 hours, and after the 72-hour hold, it was then determined that if they should continue or if he should go home or whatever. Now, it is possible these mental health issues were made worse by possible drug use, but it was never confirmed. But some sources mention that may have been doing some drugs. So, it was also believed that Wade's mood swings and such was made worse because of all the possible concussions that he got during doing sports. And then adding the drugs, it was just not a good concoction of situations going on. So, regardless, it's just not the right. I just said that. I literally just said that and I wrote it down too. So, it just was not good for him. So, in 2012, at the age of 18, Wade was like, I'm gonna find my real dad. So, he reconnected with his dad, Steven. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. I literally didn't I didn't even write it down because I was like, I'm just gonna butcher that. So, and
It's
it
good.
doesn't matter. Yeah. So stop asking, Brie. I'm not gonna pronounce his name.
Come on,
So
please.
so Stephen lived in Lakeland, Florida, and they stayed in touch off and on for the next few years, but they weren't like super close. I'm sure Wade was like, not what I was expecting. You're kind of lame, but you're my dad. So we'll say happy birthday to each other and such. So they didn't really stay, they weren't super close. During this time, Wade dabbled in his career with the law.
Well, that's
He
fun.
had, yeah,
I
he
love that.
had, yeah, he had multiple theft convictions, even assault. Wade's adopted parents hired a lawyer, and eventually all the charges were dropped. Um, During this time, Wade had a daughter, but that's all I could find about her. She,
Okay.
so he was definitely not in her life.
Leave her
So
be then.
yep. So we're going to jump to 2018. Wade started dating a woman named Kelly in Palm Beach, Florida. At this time, Wade only had tattoos from his neck down. Um,
Probably
and
with the puppy dog
honestly,
picture.
did he have tattoos in that picture?
He had only in he had his neck.
His neck down.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was from his neck down. Honestly, he wasn't bad looking, like we mentioned.
Right.
I'm not a fan of neck tattoos, but whatever. He was still attractive. Kelly knew Wade by his middle name, which was Steven. Things were going great for them. They ended up moving in together in Lake Worth, Florida, and she said things were good until they weren't. Steven, aka Wade, was arrested in late 2019 for grand theft, receiving and selling stolen property. After he was released from jail, they got back together, but things went downhill super fast. At first, Kelly didn't realize it, but Wade was using drugs. At first, it was just cocaine. She had no experience with drugs, so she didn't like notice it right away. Like you don't think someone is like if you're not around it, you don't see the
Right.
signs, right?
Right.
So,
You don't know that
uh,
people are out of it because they're drugs. You're just like, "Oh, they're just tired or
right,
angry,
yeah. Or like I mean, cocaine,
fidgety."
so you're yeah, fidgety and you're just like, "What is wrong with you? You're
"You had a
being
lot of
crazy."
coffee this morning, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody's
So
hyper today."
so eventually she found a makeshift crack pipe and takes a photo of it and posts it on Reddit, and she asked what it was. She was like, I have a feeling what it is, but I'm not positive. So it was confirmed by the Reddit investigators that in fact it was a makeshift crack pipe. So their relationship got super strained. They were arguing a lot. Kelly said it never got physical until one day it did. She was looking through his bag for drugs, and he kicked down the door and attacked her, and she threw a table at him.
Oh. Oh my god, she hulked it, man.
She's like, "Whoa."
Jesus.
Yeah.
Shit. You get him, girl.
So, not great, but it is what it is. Then things got really worse. At one point, he started stealing things from her. He stole her gun and he ran away to Texas. She
Oh,
reported it to the police, but nothing came from it. Despite all their issues, they made up several times because, as Kelly admitted herself, this guy is hot and I'll do anything to keep him around.
okay. Um,
No judgment. No
yeah,
judgment. Never been in that situation, so I can't say. So,
same.
so later, Kelly realized letting him back in was a huge mistake. February 18th, 2019, Wade's behavior took a terrifying turn. The couple got in a huge argument, resulting in Wade kidnapping Kelly. He threw her into the trunk of her own vehicle and drove her 3.5 hours away to the Florida Keys.
What the f
Mhm. Before this drive, though, he sexually assaulted her. He
Ew.
bound he bound her up with her own clothes, and he stuffed leggings in her mouth to gag her. At one point, he bit her face and he scratched her face, and
Oh, no.
he somehow broke her foot while slamming the trunk down on like the trunk door down onto her foot.
Oh, the poor woman.
Ugh. So he he's driving down I-95, and he's just driving like a maniac, weaving in and out of traffic, just not being safe at all. During the drive, he got hungry, so he pulled over into a drive-through and ordered food. Um, he also disabled the OnStar, like the OnStar thing for on
Yeah.
cars. He disabled that and took her phone and sold it for super cheap for crack. So he like stopped, got some food, sold her phone real quick, which how do you find people that are how you're like, you got some crack? Do you want to buy this
I
phone?
mean, you go into a McDonald's drive-thru, there's somebody around there or like a there's a
Probably.
lot of homeless people here.
Probably. Yeah,
Not that
that
that's
makes
what all
sense.
homeless people do, but, come on.
Mhm. Mhm. So, when they reached the Keys at 4 a.m., Wade met up with another woman and he literally let Kelly go. Gave her the keys to the car and was like, "Toodaloo. Bye.
What the
See you later."
fudge?
Yeah. So, Kelly drove straight back to Palm Beach and went straight to the hospital.
Good.
They documented the lacerations on her wrist, the bite marks, her busted lip, and they took a sexual assault kit.
Oh
She
my
wanted to
gosh.
I know, this poor girl. She wanted to press charges, but nothing came of it, which makes zero sense to me.
Yeah.
Kelly
Like, you
kept
literally had so much evidence.
Yeah. Yep. It's just I think it was just crappy police work,
Yeah.
you know. So, she kept some phone photos on her phone, but the officers, they just conveniently lost. They're like, "Oh, we don't have those photos anymore. The ones that we took at the hospital? No, we don't have those anymore." Excuse me?
Jeez.
So, when they questioned Wade and Wade when they questioned him, Wade was like, "Yeah, I did that, but only because she was into it." Yeah. So he was
You're
saying it was like an S&M sort of situation.
there's a line, though.
Also, it doesn't matter if she was into
She
it.
and
She
she
could
and
have
she reported it.
she reported it. She had a broken foot. He drove her 3.5 hours away. Yeah, you know what? Sounds fun. I think you should sexually assault me, hurt me super bad, break my foot, um,
Kidnap me.
and then kidnap me, bind me, gag me, drive me 3.5 hours away, and leave me. That sounds fun. That I'm into.
I
Yep.
love it.
Yeah. So Kelly and Wade were officially over. She's like, "Absolutely not. He's not hot enough for this."
Yeah,
So,
no kidding.
Wade continued to date other women, and he just, like, domestic violence all of them. At some point, he may
I'm sorry, that
What?
was a he domestic violenced all of them.
Well, okay, so at work
Right.
at I say it that way because that's, like, how we talk at work. We'll be like, "Yeah, they domestic violence." They were, like, DVing in the trailer, and, like, they would go out and they DV'd outside in the yard, and I don't know, that's just how we talk. So he just DV'd all of them. So at some point, he may have dated a male. Mm, Possibly. There was, like, a one report about it.
Okay.
Um, and he possibly stabbed that person, but
Oh,
that was all that was reported on it, so I don't know how true it is. By October 2019, Wade was dating a woman named Melissa Montanez. On October 6th, the couple went out to this club called Buddha Lives or Buddha Lives. It's Buddha Lives, that's for sure. While they were there, Wade meets a guy named Jason Shepard, and apparently they did not know each other before this night, but the two seemed to hit it off and they like became best friends. Jason ended up inviting Wade and Melissa back to his place. Wade wanted to go. Melissa was like, "No, I don't know this guy. I don't want to go to his house." Um, so Wade ends up taking her, aka or taking her car, aka stealing it because she was like, "You cannot take my car," but he took it anyways. And meets up with a woman named Christine Melton. So I don't know how he's like meeting all these women and like why all these other women are just like okay with him. I guess they're not okay because they wouldn't know. But so he steals his new girlfriend Melissa's car. He meets up with a woman named Melissa Milton and her friend Stephanie Johnson. Wade introduced himself to Christy. Wade introduced himself as Junior to Christine because they somehow knew each other. He did not know Stephanie. So Christine knows Wade as Junior. Does that make sense?
yes.
Okay. I don't know how they know each other, but they do. It was said that Christine and Wade were possibly intimate with one another, but I don't know. That's just off of what she said, or
Okay.
excuse me, what he said. So the next morning, after staying the night with the two girls, possibly doing drugs, he tries to drive
Probably
Chris.
doing drugs.
Yeah, he tries to drive Christine and Stephanie back to Cave Coral where Christine lived. Apparently, he was having a hard time driving the car he stole because it was a manual. That is so embarrassing. Like,
What a little bitch. Sorry.
so they get back to Christine's place later. Then, or they got back to her place later than planned, probably because he was like having a terrible time driving. And Stephanie was
Stalled
like,
out.
yeah. Stephanie's like, "Hey, I gotta go. I gotta take my kid to school and I have to go to work." So, shortly after Stephanie left, Wade tied Christine up with her own clothes and strangled her to death.
Oh my god.
So, he just like
Oh.
immediately killed her.
Oh.
Um, then he takes Christine's car because it's not a manual, flees the scene because he hated, like I said, he hates the other one. Because it was a sick shift.
Right.
So then he calls Melissa at 8 a.m. and she isn't answering. She doesn't answer. He keeps calling. Finally, she answers and she's like, "Hey, what the heck?" She's mad because he just like left her there and stole her car at the bar. Um, they have a heated argument. He drives to her work in downtown Fort Myers in Christine's car. He pulls in. They confront each other. He tries to drag Melissa into the car. He beats her, he chokes her, and then he drags her up into the stairs of her work. and pins her up against the wall by her throat. He continues to punch her in the face to the point that she's bleeding pretty heavily. And this actually, when she started bleeding super bad, this kind of like shocked him and caught him off guard. He pauses, giving Melissa a second to duck and escape, and she runs into a room and locks the door. Wade ends up getting back into Christine's Nissan and driving off. So Wade arrives back at the Cape Coral
Wait, wait,
between
wait.
9.
So people weren't there at her work?
I'm it wasn't reported that anyone was there. So I don't know if she got there like early,
Maybe
like
it was like a
before.
weekend or something.
Well, it was during the weekday cuz the other one had to take her kid to school.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Stephanie.
Gotcha.
So I don't know, maybe I didn't find out where she worked, but maybe like it was a matter of like she gets there before everybody
Maybe.
else because it was only 8 o'clock in the morning. So maybe she worked from like 8 to 4 or eight to
Yeah.
five, and other people work like 9 to 6 or something. So I don't know. So Wade arrived back at Cape Coral between 9 and 11 a.m. He is driving and he spots a woman named Diane Ruse walking to the Moose Lodge. He pulls over and he says, "Hey, I need directions. Can you help me?" And somehow convinces her to get into the car and help him with directions. So she gets into the car.
Okay.
Okay. So once
Wow.
she's in Yeah. So once she's in the vehicle, he strangles her and he drives her
What
to
the hell, man?
I know it. He drives to a Sam's Club. He takes her out to dump her body into the dumpster, but realizes that she's still breathing. So he gets in his vehicle, backs up, and runs over her multiple times.
Okay.
According to Wade, what he said to the detectives was he did it until she looked like spaghetti.
Oh my god. You are a piece of shit.
So at this time, police were looking for Wade because of the attack on Melissa. Because Melissa called 911. They had no
Good.
idea about this other woman that he just brought into her car and
Unalived.
laid her, yeah, unalived. So they
DV'd.
found Wade.
They went
Oh,
beyond
nope,
that.
that wasn't DV.
Just straight up murdered.
Yep, straight up murder. So they find Wade at a Joe's Crab Shack in the stolen Nissan, shirtless. Police see this guy. They're like, okay, we have him. They start walking up to the vehicle. Wade sees them, rolls up his window, and just drives away. He just drives away. And they're like, oh man, we're so
Darn.
close. Yeah. um, and they're like I said, they're like, oh man, shucks, we tried. Oh well. Wade drives and sees a home that might be empty. Not like empty, like vacant, but like no one was home at the time. So he enters through a window. Wade drinks some White Claws from the fridge, eats some leftovers, plays Project One Runway, and picks.
I'm sorry.
He's like, gotta catch up on my trash
I
TV.
drink my claws and okay.
um, so he eats some leftovers, plays Project Runway, and picks out a new pair of clothes. Because when you're watching Project Runway, like you have to like try on some clothes,
Right. It just
right?
makes you want to like accessorize.
Yeah.
Go for a new look.
So
Change it up.
yeah. Then he calls up his bio dad, Steven. According to Steven, Wade was breaking down and claimed he needed help with something he had done, but and couldn't take it back. He mentioned two people that were gone and they won't be back, and he ended the call with stating that he was the killer. So Stephen at first didn't believe him because Wade was known as a storyteller. But Stephen then started to truly believe him because he mentioned how he killed that bitch and that he stayed in the house and that he stayed in the house a while, rolled her up, and was trying to put her in the trunk but couldn't lift her because rigor mortis had started to set in. I know
Oh,
it. So, Stephen later told investigators that his son didn't seem to show any remorse and actually seemed excited when telling the story. Then Stephen tells investigators that when Wade first called him, he was asking for an Uber. So when he first called, he was like, "Hey, Dad, can you order me an Uber?" So when he gave the address of where he needed to go, Wade told him the address to the U.S. Marshals. And
what?
so that's, yeah, that the dad's like, "Okay, where do you need to go?" U.S. Marshals. Excuse me?
What?
Excuse me?
Marshalls like the
So
store?
so that same afternoon, Christine's friend was contacted by police. They had found her car and she felt something was up. So Cape Coral police had forced their way into the home, and that's when they see a large bundle of bedding and clothing near a bedroom. And when they look inside, they found Christine's body.
Oh,
So initially, police had not connected Diane to Wade. So there's still this like murdered woman.
right.
They had no idea Wade was involved. She was reported missing not long after she didn't show up to work. And on October 8th, police searched this wooded area near her work but they didn't find anything. The next day, after Wade's bio's dad testimony, they realized it was clear Wade was responsible for Diane's disappearance. On October 10th, police checked the empty parking lot near Sam's Club because the police noticed a vulture was circling the area, and that's how they found Diane's dead body,
Oh gosh.
which is so sad.
Yeah.
So Wade was interviewed and initially said, "No way, Jose, not me." But when they interviewed him again, he was like, "Yeah, it was me. I'm the problem. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me." His defense argued he was heavily drugged, or as his defense attorney said, he was whacked out of his mind, which is
Sounds about right.
insane. On September 20th, 2020, while awaiting trial, stupid Wade tried to escape from jail. Him and his jailmate arranged for an escape and had a vehicle that was going to be waiting for them on the other side. They were like, "Yeah, man, we're gonna escape, man." While the correction officers were tipped off about this, uh, and they went, or sorry, well, the correction officers were tipped off about this, and they went to check Wade's cell and noticed that the window in the cell had been tampered with. The whole metal frame was actually removed, and the glass was cracked.
Damn.
And which, how do you do that with like
Yeah.
nothing, no tools? Um, they even though he and his cellmate did this, the two men were too large to fit through the small window, which is so dumb. On top of the murder charges he was now facing attempted escape and criminal mischief.
Good.
During his trial, or during his time in jail, Wade joined a white supremacist gang, and he
Oh god.
just covered his face in all those stupid racial tattoos that he has. Um, Wade's trial started June 10th, 2024. So like literally this just happened.
Okay.
He was being charged of two charges of first-degree murder, grand theft burglary, and theft. Ton of witnesses came forward. And after 2 hours of deliberation, Wade was found guilty on all 6 counts. 9 out of the 12 jurors recommended Wade face the death penalty, but in the state of Florida, only 8 out of the 12 need to agree on the death penalty to be eligible for it. Since the since the trial, Wade has been arguing for a new trial already. His argument, the state did not prove he had pos- his argue oh sorry. His argument for a new trial was the state did not prove that he had possession of Christine's car.
What?
That has
But but
nothing to do
but there's
do with the
still so many,
murders.
yeah, that you murdered people. You do know that,
So
right? Like, you actually killed people.
and you even said you ran her over until she looked like spaghetti, Miss
Yes.
Diane. So and he confessed to the murder of Christine by saying he couldn't lift her out of the window because rigor mortis set in to his dad. So anyways, however, on August 30th, so literally just a couple days ago, Wade received the death penalty for the murder of both women. And that's it.
I'm honestly surprised that he lived that long with what he did and being in prison.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Joining a white supremacist group probably is what saved his butt.
probably. Which I'm kind of surprised because I thought white supremacists was super against domestic violence.
I thought everybody was.
I mean, like,
I mean, it's just wrong, period. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they don't. I don't know. I don't know any. So, of all
I,
the TV
I,
shows I've watched, it seems like they
I'm,
don't give a
yeah,
shit about anything.
that's true. Yeah, that's probably what it is. And that's probably why he joined it because, uh, that probably saved his butt.
Yeah,
So, I mean, although this story was sad, the guy
it
was
ended.
stupid.
Yeah,
So,
he. I'm glad justice was served. Eventually. It sounds like they freaking dropped the ball a lot, but
yeah, what's going on with those officers down in what was it, Palm Beach, I think it was, or
yeah,
Cape
yeah. Just
excuse me?
Florida, period. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. So, and
Come
like
on
him
now.
getting away, he's like rolls up his window, he's like, "Doo-doo," and they're like, "Oh man,
Oh, bye. Oh, I left my
stupid."
oven on. I gotta go. Bye.
Tell
Which
me
is
your
also kind of
story.
funny because Deadpool says that in his movie.
Oh, he
I
does.
just I didn't do that on purpose, but he was like, "Did I leave the stove on?"
Yeah, so my name Blake Lively's PR team because she like did terrible PR for this that it ends with us.
Oh my god, yeah.
Her PR was so
Cringe.
bad. Yeah.
Cringe. Oh man. It's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Dude, have you heard about this contract or something between Taylor Swift and her boo thing? About
What?
when they're gonna
No.
break up? Apparently there's a contract that leaked about when they're going to break up.
When?
I don't know. Josh told me about it.
I want to know more about this. When are they going to
Yeah.
break up?
I have no idea. I don't know. But I'm gonna I'll have to look into it. We will have to look into it.
You know what's funny is
I just sent you a
Taylor's
text. Don't look at it yet.
Oh, okay. You know what's funny is Taylor Swift is obviously Taylor Swift and she was born in 1989, but I still see her as like an early 2000 like early 20s.
Same.
Like she's like
Bec-
34 or 35.
Probably because that's her crowd. That's like all the people
Probably.
that follow her and like
Yeah,
look up to her.
that
Yeah.
makes sense.
I mean,
Yeah,
she's
cuz
older than I am. Haha,
yeah,
you're older than I am. Not you. Taylor Swift is. Oh, sorry.
that's okay. Because it's
I
just
love
like
you.
weird cuz like I almost just said like, "Oh,
Wait,
well, it's okay.
you're not 1989.
I'm
She's older
1990."
than you are. You're old. She's older than you too. So, haha, she's older than both of us. Haha.
But like my thought when you said that like they have like a contract to break up, I was thinking like, "Oh, that's okay. She's like in her early 20s. She still has plenty of time to like
She's got
settle
time.
down." Yeah. No, she's like 34 or 35.
Yep.
Like I
Not that
mean,
there's anything wrong with that.
no, but my thought is like if she's planning on having kids, like either you got to freeze your eggs or do something.
Yeah. People are having kids later and later now, though.
They are. Yeah, did you see uh Karen was it Cameron
Cameron
Diaz?
Diaz.
She just
Mhm.
had a
She's like
kid.
50. Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Phew,
know. I was like,
good for
"Dang.
her. Yeah.
Good for her," but I am exhausted already, and I feel like I could not be as energetic at
Mm-mm.
50 years old. Plus, I
No
wanna be
way.
done. I want my time when I'm
Yeah.
older.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. Stay on focus.
Yep.
Stay
Segues.
let's
All right.
tell me your story,
So
bud.
I am going to tell you this week about some haunted eBay finds.
I was just going to say I you haven't done an eBay segment in a while.
Yes, yes. I was like, wait, what number episode is this? And then I realized it was time for me to do one. So I sent you a picture or of the things that I'm going to do.
Okay.
So if you want to grab out your handy dandy phone,
I know it.
so the first one is I forgot to number them, but it goes left, right, left, right, left, right, like you're
Sure.
reading a story. So the
Yeah.
first one is the top left. But
Okay.
do you want to go ahead and give us a
Sure.
little short detail about it?
This is a cute old phone, very old, the rotary phone. It's gold, or it's like a brass or gold with black. It's just a cute little. You pick it up. Hello.
It looks like
Probably from
something that
like
would be in your house as a decoration.
yeah, yeah. It's not even like the old like early 80s or 70s. This is like the 20s,
Yeah,
I
it's
would
pretty
say.
old fashioned. It's
Yeah.
very fancy.
Yeah.
So, all right, first item is Agnes, 65, haunted,
Agnes.
extremely active, enjoys stirring the pot, firecracker personality, loves tools, causes footsteps, laughs, apparitions. Okay, so that is the title for this one, and the cost is $225. I believe I got this one off of Etsy, and the
Oh,
condition is vintage from before 1700s. When were phones invented, my friend?
I'm looking this up.
No, no, no. I already know this. Phones were invented in the 1900s, not in the 1700s. But they
The
put before.
telephone AI on Google says that the telephone was invented in the 1870s and the first telephone call was made in 1876.
Oh, okay, okay. So late
But still not
1800s, but still
not
not the 1700s.
they're
All
just
right.
making things up.
So the description goes her vessel is this vintage phone. She is said to had a phone similar to it and spent many an hour talking to her friends about all the juicy gossip she learned
Oh.
that day. Just imagine Lucille Ball and Ethel on their phones exchanging gossip. She says she was just like that. And she
Oh.
also played bridge with her friends, and they often were doing things to help their community.
Aw.
Agnes, 65, extremely active, neutral human spirit. Agnes is a Spitfire spirit. She likes to be heard and is usually the loudest one in the room. Same. She used the phone people she used to phone people to listen to what she has to say, and it was always juicy. She said she lived in New York in the 1930s and loved to stir the pot and call her friends to let them know the latest gossip going on in others' lives. It's not that she was a horrible person. She just enjoyed being nosy and never was good at keeping a secret. She also loved being the town know it all when it came to almost anything you could ask her, and she almost always knew the answer.
I love this.
She's very feisty and is setting the dead bell off constantly as I write this this as I write this as she wants me to get her story straight. And she says she's a good spirit who enjoys causing a little chaos wherever she goes. She's very funny and has a very sweet grandmother vibe, but she will also let you know if you've gotten out of line and will probably get other spirits gossiping about each other. She can't help that she enjoys stirring the pot. Offerings include coffee, tea, bagels, a stiff drink, and tools to communicate. She loves Frank Sinatra and old jazz music and will play both of them to stir or on the spirit box. Agnes is a ton of fun and so engaging. She has a sense of humor that will surprise you, and she says She passed of heart issues. She's a true New Yorker.
New
When it comes
York.
to her personality, she's very straightforward and is so funny. She will have you in stitches during spirit sessions. The things she says would never hear your grandmother say. You will see her roaming your home as an apparition. She loves standing near you and will reach out and touch you. She's very
Wow.
active on the spirit box and will give you juicy bits of gossips through it. She loves the dead bell. She sets off bullet lights and ghost balls when she's in the mood, of course. You will always hear her vessel ring sometimes at night. It's such a strange sound, and hear her talking and speaking the town gossip. It's so funny. You will also hear her dialing a number on the spirit box. If you need a spicy old lady in your house, look no further than Agnes. She will do well in any environment and bring a ton of fun and some mischief to your home. She loves moving things and just getting a laugh at your expense whenever possible. If you feel a pull to this amazing soul, please step forward. Follow me on Instagram at Haunted Moon Antiques. And yeah, if you want to find that item, because Agnes sounds like a blast,
She
that's
sounds like
at
so much
Haunted Moon
fun.
Antiques. Yep.
Why would they wanna get rid of her?
I know, right?
She sounds like so much fun.
Yeah. I'll just buy her from my grandma's house, and her and my grandma can be buds.
Oh, so far that's my favorite one.
Yeah, she's, out of all the ones that I've ever done,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
she's pretty funny. Okay, next one, extremely active haunted mannequin. Sorry.
It's
Tell
a
us, Amy. What is the next one?
I don't wanna tell you this one. It's a mannequin that you would see, like, at a store or a creepy man might purchase as his wife. Um, she she has, like, a little bit past her shoulders, curly brunette hair with bangs. Um, she's wearing, like, a purple, like, dress, like a baby doll dress or a purple baby doll top. That's about it. She
Yeah,
looks scary.
she looks a little too sexy too, like, her sorry,
Yeah,
like, she
she
she looks
does.
like no offense, not you show off what you
Well,
got, you go for it, but,
that's
at the
why I
same
was saying,
time
like that's why I was saying, like, maybe, like, a creepy man would purchase to be his wife
yeah.
because, like, she's almost too attractive or not
Yeah,
attractive, but, like, too risque or sexy to be a mannequin.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
Alright, so, she's titled Extremely Active Haunted Mannequin, Experienced Collectors Only, cost is $750.
Oh my gosh. You know what? A
Condition
creepy man should buy this because at least it has some personality.
True, true, and it can probably talk back,
Yeah.
um, and give no consent. Anyway.
Yes.
Um, so the condition, vintage before 2000. What? Vintage is now before 2000?
No, I don't believe it.
You freaking kidding me? I'm
That's
offended.
I'm offended. That's rude.
We're vintage.
That's okay. I would like to say that instead of old.
True. True. Just vintage.
Yeah.
And rustic. I don't want rustic. Rustic sounds,
That sounds like
you
you're
know.
crusty.
Like, I feel like a woman could be vintage and a man could be like rustic. Yeah, he's rustic.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's
There we go.
vintage. Oh my
There we go.
gosh, Brie, you just
So
invented that.
demure.
Very mindful.
Okay, the description is Agatha, another ag. It was
Oh boy.
Agatha all along. All right,
Okay.
anyway, so
Wow.
the description goes, yeah, am
Oof.
I on cocaine?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with drugs.
All right, the description is Agatha is a remarkable entity from my personal collection and served as one of my principal summoning spirits. Agatha recently just took over this vessel as her old one was old and falling apart. She tells me this mannequin is suitable for a spirit of her powers and abilities. Agatha possesses the unique capability to call forth any type of spirit into your home, whether you seek vampires, fairies, werewolves, or other supernatural
Oh my.
beings. She- the oh my. Did you do that on purpose? That was
No.
perfect.
Oh, no,
Lions,
I
tigers,
didn't.
bears, oh my.
I did not do that on
My God.
purpose.
That was so perfect.
That has to be
uh,
the title. That
it
has to be
does.
the
It so
title.
does. There's no way you can't top that. She she can beckon them and bring them into your home. If you are involved in a spiritual business, Agatha may be an excellent addition, as she can populate your space with numerous spirits. Agatha can summon any spirit, light or dark. You simply need to specify who is welcome and who she should keep out. Little is known about Agatha's life as a human other than that she lived over a millennium ago
Oh
and
my.
has since disconnected from her mortal existence. Now, as a spirit, she is more formidable than my other entities with an impressive range of abilities. One notable talent is her ability to enhance the activity and communication of spirits within your home. Agatha's intense energy acts almost like a catalyst, invigorating and the other spirits and empowering them. She serves as a protector and a guardian to your spirits, ensuring them tranquility and happiness. Though not a witch, Agatha can cast potent energy spells capable of either wreaking havoc on others, such as enacting revenge or bringing in wealth and abundance. Agatha is powerful, and you may sense her presence in your home through goosebumps, a slight tingling sensation, or a cool breeze. She has the ability to summon many spirits into your space, making her a force that is hard to forget. Agatha demands your respect and your time as she wishes nothing but the best for her keeper. With heightened activity in your home, you might need to occasionally ask her to limit the number of spirits entering. She will ensure to cleanse you and your environment to prevent you from being overwhelmed by extra energies. Agatha appears as a very tall, ghostly figure with dark black hair and large bulging eyes resembling a character straight out of a horror story and a look she embraces. She may manifest in your dreams or visions and communicate with you telepathically. Her voice, though a bit hushed, Though a bit hushed and eerie, shouldn't alarm you. Feel free to ask her for assistance in any matter. If she cannot help, she can find a spirit who can.
I don't like Agatha. I
Yeah,
don't
I don't think I want to welcome
why
a
does
house
she have to
party of
look
spirits.
and why is she's just like, "Come on, guys, come on over."
Just
From
come
my
on on. Join
and
the
like a
party.
millennia, like she was alive a millennia ago.
Yeah,
How
that's a
old is
little
this woman? And
yeah,
why
like
is she like looks like she's from a horror movie and she's just like, "Yeah, that's what I look like." Ma'am, you are a ghost. You can
yeah,
change the way you
you
look, can't you? And she's like inviting werewolves and witches and like all these different like s- calm down,
yeah.
you know?
I eat lots of garlic and I wear silver.
Well,
I
then
don't
I
want them
guess
in my
that's
house.
they don't need to be in your house.
I don't know what fairies don't like, but I don't think I want them in my house either.
I've heard that fairies are bad.
Oh yeah, me too. I watched True Blood.
Yeah. So
They're bad
I
in
don't think I
there.
want them in my house either. No, thank you.
Nope. Good.
Okay.
All right. Number 3.
What
Amy?
cartoon is this guy from? He's from a cartoon.
I don't know, but you might not want to relate him to a cartoon.
He's from a cartoon. I just can't think of what he's part of, what cartoon he's part of. Okay, so Harvey the dog.
Is it? Oh, they don't mention it once in here.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. It's a
That's disturbing.
okay, so it's a Sago mini character. So this guy is a little figurine. He's called Harvey the dog. He's a Sago mini Harvey the dog character.
The Sago.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Um, but it looks like a small child may have painted over his eyes, on his lips, and one of his feet, and then like throughout like time, it just like started scratching off and wearing off.
Okay. All right. So, item number 3, haunted doll, active demon, sexual succubus, shapeshifter, tangible item. Phil Philomena. Philomena. Cost $25.99. Condition used. Um, Meet Philomena.
Oh,
She is
thank you.
something like you've never seen. From an estate sale from a BSDM spirit keeper. Don't know what that means. He has a collection of spirits like this. This is one of them. She looks like a cute puppy at first, but she will have you on your knees. A cute
Excuse
vessel
me.
with a cute vessel with um from the underworld ready to serve you and possess you. She is using her supernatural abilities to appear harmless and neutral. Philomena has street smarts, is exciting and very sinister. She loves to growl and giggle when you fondle her. She loves
Ew!
all positions but loves doggy style the most. She is really special and will change her form and shape to reflect what she feels you are lusting for to gain sexual activity from you and other worldly spirits. She will change into a gorgeous female wearing a big brown fur coat with mesmerizing perfume with red lips. So pay attention. Be careful and do not let it consume you, for you are its master. And when it changes into this wild female succubus, she needs to be shown some sort of control. She loves cookies and loves the smell of chicken and seasoned meat.
This is
She oh
borderline porn.
I know. There's so many on eBay like this. She
That's
always wants to have
disgusting.
fun, some affection, and always wants you. Just make sure you know how to handle this crazy spirit in bed because it will make you think you're in a whole other realm. Extra note at the end says, "Do not leave alone with other animals. She will ignore children." This vessel is uncleansed. Light with white candle, burn incense, and give a small present to welcome it into your home. Yeah, I'm gonna take out part of that because that did sound like porn. I apologize. I read it earlier and I read it out loud to Josh and he was like, "Dear God, what are you reading?" And then I was like, there are so many like that on
It's like
eBay. Like, it
50
makes me question if they're real or not. Like, I
That's like 50 Shades of Doggy Style, dude. Like, what the heck? Excuse me.
Oh, man. Um,
Do
yeah,
people buy this, like, and they're like, "Oh," like, in
yeah.
hopes that they're
You
gonna,
know
like, have this sexual awakening with this ghost because they can't get it anywhere else, and, like, they just wasted $25.
so the only reason I have to believe that this is even a little bit true and real is that all the people that comment and say how much they recommend this buyer or this seller,
Yeah,
and like these
yeah,
sellers
and they
sell
have
legit
other
stuff.
things, yeah.
Yes, like cuz these shops are constantly getting good reviews and I'm like, "No way this is true." And so I'll go in and look at the reviews and be like, "Oh my god, I had such a good experience with that I purchased and blah blah blah. They have such legit stuff." And I'm like, "Dear God." Like, yep.
That scares
Anyway,
me. That
item
scares
number
me.
4.
So it looks like this is like in sort of some sort of vase, or like a display thing. It's orange display, and like inside the glass is a doll, a fabric doll with indigenous uh clothing, and the hair, I don't even know how to explain the hair. It doesn't have a mouth, I don't think. And it says, "Do not open under any circumstances." So
It does say that,
it makes me think of, what is that? The
Annabelle.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does say that, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, someone opened it. Okay,
Oh,
so
boy. Well,
item number 4, haunted Native American doll, and that's even like even more worse because like you hear about all these Native American burial ground stuff and all these like spirit
yeah.
like they don't mess around.
No, they do
100%
not.
authentic, active, demonic witch spirit antique. Cost $2,500. Condition used.
$2,500?
Yep.
I think that's the most expensive one you've done.
It probably, yeah, it probably is. Yeah. All right. So, description: authentic, real, haunted doll, active demonic witch spirit, antique, buyer beware. Spirit type: demonic slash negative. Usual activity involves EMF, EVP, spirit box, flickering lights, candles, temperature fluctuations, disembodied voices, noises, physical touch, full body apparitions, some poltergeist activity, different aromas, and it says has a very old smell, etc. So it
Okay.
says, I got this very old haunted doll from a medicine man off an Indian reservation. There are multiple negative slash demonic spirits attached to this vessel. I am not exactly sure how many, but know of at least two, maybe three entities. I'm sensing witches, the very old kind of witch long ago. These spirits use all forms of communication. There's been temperature fluctuations like hot and cold spots, flickering lights, candle lights, flickering, disembodied voices and noises. I've heard faint screaming, laughing noises, and even scratches around this vessel. The medicine man was physically scratched by this vessel. I
Oh
have
my
seen
gosh.
full body apparitions, shadow figures, orbs, etc. Please view my photos to see the different entities I've caught on film. I tried outlining and circling them. I was kind of looking at it earlier and you can kind of see something. You can literally
Okay.
see two faces when looking at the doll's face. It's so weird because the rest of the photo was totally clear. True. In the last photo, there's someone standing at the top left side of the picture. They appear to be leaning over, facing the case with the vessel inside of it, like it's looking at itself. Top part of the apparition is the head and lower part looks like chest slash arms. This native haunted vessel is about 10.5 inches. It's handmade with real hair, leather, and beading. Please be careful when handling. It's not only dangerous, but also a very old antique. Be sure to set boundaries. I would not let children, pets, or other people handle this item. Again, buyer beware. This is very powerful vessel. I suggest keeping it inside a box or a case. Recommended for experienced paranormal collectors of demonic entities only, please.
Oh my gosh. Why would anyone wanna buy that?
I know.
For $2,500.
I mean,
Like,
that's
they
a
don't
lot
have
of
any.
money.
That's a lot of money just to, like, be
Hey, Zach
abused by
Bagans,
this. But you're
get
just,
it.
like, basically you're buying this just to be abused by it.
I mean, you can get some pretty cool research from it, though. I mean, I
That's
wouldn't buy
true.
it, but Zach Bagans, he could buy it for his museum. Come on, buddy.
That's true.
Why don't they just
For
bring it to the
research.
museum? They can buy it from him.
Yeah,
Should
people
totes
can
do
just
that.
donate it.
If it is
Donate
that
it.
haunted and that serious, then you should bring it to
Yeah.
him. Let the professionals deal with it.
Yeah.
The
Oof.
professionals who constantly um antagonize it to
Yeah,
make it do
right?
stuff. uh
Uh,
Item number
okay.
5.
Okay, so I was looking at this one earlier when you sent it to me. It almost I wanna say this is a picture.
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it's photoshopped, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
it's
so
I think the
it's like
background is just photoshopped.
okay, that could be it
So
because
I
it looks like it's, like, one-dimensional.
Yeah, I know. I think they
Mhm.
got Go ahead and explain what it is.
So it's a baby carriage, like a doll baby carriage, very vintage, like the ones that you would see, like you would buy like a little girl for her baby dolls, but it's vintage and looks old. But
Yeah,
and it's on like wood flooring, and the background is like a floral uh wallpaper, and that's why like I thought and it doesn't look like
the
it's
background isn't important.
no, but the it doesn't look 4D, it looks
Yeah.
1D.
So, it looks like they, like, cropped out just this carriage and, like, maybe they didn't have a good background or they wanted to, like,
Yeah,
make it look like it's in a more antique-y background or something,
yeah, that could be
and
it.
I'm betting that they just photoshopped it and put it in that. It looks really
Yeah,
stupid, though.
yeah,
They
it's
woulda
weird.
just put it somewhere else. Anyway,
Yeah.
so, item number 5, haunted doll carriage, active spirit, haunted object, ghost doll, antique doll carriage, haunted pram, haunted decor, spooky decor. All right, $198. It is condition is vintage before 2000. Eye roll. Description is this small antique doll carriage made from dark wicker and lace isn't just any vintage piece. It's haunted by a spirit I can't quite identify. Trying to photograph it has been tricky, with some parts coming out blurry, as you can see in the photos, no matter how many I took. It looks like it's photoshopped. A few times the photo just came out dark or with blurred shapes and lights. See the last pic for an example. It's it easily lights up a cat ball, as you can see in the one photo, which also helps show the size of the carriage. The carriage is not to scale in the photographs. Please check the actual dimensions below.
Okay.
I can't say exactly what entity is haunting it, but the energy doesn't feel dark. I slept with it in my bedroom for a few nights, and twice it fell off my wardrobe on its own. I heard its wheels moving across the floor. I bit on
Ew.
than more than one occasion, then found it in place I hadn't left it. I heard whispering and sighing too in the dark, but not crying.
Sighing.
So boring here. Oh my god. I like how they had to, like, explain that it was sighing and not crying. It's just bored. Like, can we go somewhere now? It definitely gives a spooky Rosemary's Baby vibe. There's some damage to the frame, but the carriage works just fine. The wheels roll smoothly and the lace canopy can be raised and lowered easily. Check out the photos to see it with a doll inside, doll not included. Um it can be perfect for displaying a haunted doll or adding a spooky touch to your Halloween decor.
Oh, I
Hella
like that.
scaring off your trick-or-treaters
Yeah,
or
especially with
kids
all
who
the
take too much candy.
sighing.
Yeah. So
That
fun. All
one
right.
isn't terrible.
No, it's not terrible.
I don't like the wheel like, hearing the wheels in the middle of the night. I
All
don't
right,
like
last
it.
one.
This one's creepy. Um, so it's like a little Indian, like a Native American, doll figurine thing, kinda like a, Precious Moments, kinda reminds me of like a Precious Moments figurine, except for he's holding like a shield and maybe like a stake or something, but what's creepy about it is he has like his head tucked and his eyes are like looking up at you,
Yeah.
and
Like,
that's creepy.
yes, agreed. That was definitely yeah. Okay, so item number 6, haunted vessel figurine entity that changed the world. Cost only 24.88. They changed the world, but
Guess what?
it's only
You,
24 bucks.
yeah.
That's gonna change your world.
Ah,
The
hmm.
condition is used, and description goes as meet Wuru, an
Woo.
Aborigine spirit who destroyed men for all women. He
Love
is an
it.
entity that embodies just about every negative aspect of male life. He isn't very bright, so you don't have to worry about any harm he can do. If something does happen, it was purely on accident. As you can
Aw.
see, he has worn away his belly button over time. I will let you figure that one out on your own.
Okay.
His beady little eyes will dart back and forth, and suddenly you will feel a piercing stick on your body. That's just a dart from his blowgun. He usually
Just the
misses, though.
dart.
He usually misses, though, so don't worry about that either. He will blow you with when angry, if he can find where he left his gun, that is. The
What?
biggest problem you will have with him is this hard the biggest problem you will have with him, and this is hard to type, he's a scratcher and a tugger. His presence will be seen in a shadow form, usually lifting one leg to get deep in there. And what does that mean? It's very hard to get used to seeing. What? Ew! He's scratching his butt. I didn't realize this. He's pulling his wedgies and he's scratching his butt. His presence will be seen in a shadow form, usually lifting one leg to get in deep in there. It's very hard to get used to seeing. I have seen him sniff his fingers. He usually says, what you never seen this?" The noises he makes are concerning, but an offering of Gas X usually calms them. Don't expect him to bring much to your household other than a constant annoyance. It can get your nerves on end, so make sure you take breaks from him. He is easily amused in front of the TV. All in all, he is harmless and disgusting spirit man child. He will pout if you ignore him and ruin everyone's enjoyment. You can choose to ignore him or engage for a good laugh. His famous words are, "Lady, please," and "Watch this." Dude, how did I miss that part earlier?
So he's just a
At first, I
man.
thought it was gonna be another sexual succubus thing, and I was like, "Oh god." I thought I read this, and I read the gas X part, and I was like, "I thought he farted." No, he also picks his wedgies. So
So
he
he's
is
just a man.
he's
Like
a disgusting spirit man child
what? You never
who
seen this before?
who
I
went
like that
when
he smells his head after he picks his butt.
who when offered gas X is appreciative. Is
And
this
pouts when
me?
you ignore him. Okay,
I'm
I
not
don't know
kidding,
that.
guys. I cannot make this stuff up. This is legit on eBay. I cannot make this
I
up. I will post about it later.
I think this is my favorite one from this episode. Oh my god.
How did I miss that part?
Oh my
I like skipped that
gosh.
entire sentence earlier.
Those are so good. I love when you do these segments. They're all so
It's an
funny.
uplifting to your DV story.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I have a neighborhood story for you.
All right.
You ready? It's on net.
Yes.
This is on Nextdoor.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Huge orgy and swinger party at Wood Sonora Park Saturday night at 9:30 p.m.
Sick.
Yep. Be
That's
there, be
disgusting.
square. Be maybe that one the the dog. Maybe
Oh
she'll be
yeah.
there.
The the porn star ghost.
The porn star ghost. Yep, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Don't forget to send in your spooky, scary bedtime stories. Oh, also, if you haven't seen on Facebook yet, we are having a ghosty paint night
Mhm.
in October. So to join it, you have to be on Patreon. It's only $3 and you can cancel it whenever you want, but it is a live paint night that we're going to do on Patreon. And we basically have you get like a painting, a secondhand painting, or wherever maybe you already have a painting that you want to add a little pizzazz
Yeah.
to, and you just put little ghosties. You've seen them before on TikTok and stuff. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, we're just going to be adding little spooky elements to paintings that are we already have. October 19th, and it's I believe it's like 7 p.m. You can look for the details on Facebook. But yeah, join
Yeah.
patreon.com/. WWTN podcasts. Like I said, it's only $3. You can cancel it whenever you like. Or if you happen to like it and getting your episodes early and stuff, then you can just stick
And
around.
get extra episodes because once a month we do a Patreon only episode
Yep.
and nobody else gets it. So sorry
Nobody
about it.
else.
And it's
Unless yours.
live.
Yep. It's live and
So
embarrassing.
you can, it's, yeah, it's pretty embarrassing. So, and also if you're going to buy a costume or anything from Spirit Halloween, go to Spirit Halloween, look at what you want to buy, shop around, don't purchase anything. Go home, go to our promotions tab on our website and click that link and go through there and purchase it so we get a kickback for you purchasing something you're already going to be purchasing. So
Yep. And
you
they
can also
do
do
free
that with
shipping.
Walmart, free shipping, and you can also do that with Walmart because we're affiliated with Walmart too.
Yeah, we have a couple of affiliates. You guys can check them out in the promotion tab.
Have you checked in on the neighbors?
What's with the neighbors?
Bring Amy
Bring Amy
out.
out.
Spooky, scary bedtime stories make creeps in the night. Silly stories told by you, send them in tonight. Spooky, scary bedtime stories, tiptoes in the night. You'll laugh and cry or jump for joy when you hear these frights.
Say hi to your cats for us.
Don't get
Bye,
dead.
buddy. Love you.
Goodbye. Love you.
How do you turn this thing off?